Part 7, Shaping Alliances. The next few weeks were a whirlwind for Marcus, Ava, and their newfound ally, Mila. Their base of operations at Marcus's lab was filled with more energy than ever before. Ava and Marcus took turns teaching Mila about the quantum translocator, the multiverse theory, and their mission, while Mila shared her extensive knowledge of advanced technology and the unique characteristics of her home universe. Mila's arrival brought about significant changes to the team's dynamic. Her sarcastic humor and quick wit added a new layer of camaraderie, which was a welcome change in their high-stress environment. She was quick to learn and highly adaptable, grasping the concepts of multiverse travel and contributing innovative ideas to their ongoing projects. A notable development was Mila's immediate interest in upgrading their quantum translocator. She noticed potential improvements in their design and codebase, which, according to her, could make the device more efficient and safer. Having someone with such advanced tech knowledge was proving to be a real game-changer for the duo. Meanwhile, Ava continued her anthropological studies, documenting the vast array of cultures and histories they encountered in their multiverse travels. She was particularly interested in the different development paths of major historical events across various universes. Mila's own universe offered a new case study, a reality where tech growth had far outpaced their own and led to an entirely different societal structure. Ava made it a priority to record these observations meticulously. Marcus, for his part, stayed alert for any signs of Quill's return. He knew the billionaire would not take his defeat lying down. Every day, he grew more restless, the unease gnawing at him. He knew they had to prepare for Quill's next move, but the problem was, they had no idea what that move would be. Amidst this whirlwind of activity, they received a visitor one day at the lab, Professor Graham, Marcus's mentor from the university. The old man was visibly surprised at the sight of Mila, who Marcus introduced as a new member of their research team. Little did the professor know that the research had long since evolved from mere theory to interdimensional reality hopping. The team's bond strengthened with each passing day, their mutual trust and respect for each other evident in their interactions. Mila fit right in with Marcus and Ava, the trio working together as a seamless unit. One late evening, after hours spent on refining the quantum translocator, Marcus couldn't help but reflect on their journey so far, from solitary research in his lab to now leading a team of brilliant minds, battling an egotistical billionaire, and navigating the multiverse. He'd come a long way. He looked over at Ava and Mila, both engrossed in their tasks. Ava was furiously scribbling notes from Mila's accounts of her home universe, while Mila was busy crafting a new circuit board for the quantum translocator. Marcus smiled to himself. Despite the looming threat of Quill's return, they were stronger than ever. They were not just a team anymore. They had become a family, and together, they would face whatever the multiverse had in store for them. Little did he know, that test was closer than he imagined. Fractures in the fabric. Marcus's restless apprehension was justified. On a typically mundane Tuesday, while the team was embroiled in their individual projects, a sudden alarm went off on Marcus's console. His eyes narrowed as he scanned the display. It was a warning alert from the quantum translocator, a spike in quantum energy, something he'd configured the device to monitor specifically for signs of Quill's activity. And it was not just a blip, it was a wave, far larger and more volatile than anything they'd detected before. A wave of tension washed over Marcus as he alerted Ava and Mila. They gathered around the console, their brows furrowing as they analyzed the data. The energy spike had occurred in a distant universe, one they hadn't explored yet, but the quantum signature bore a frightening resemblance to Quill's. "I don't like this," Marcus confessed, the severity of his tone echoing in the silent lab. Mila was the first to break the silence. "Looks like your billionaire nemesis has been busy. If this is Quill's doing, we need to find out what he's up to," Ava added. "This energy spike, it's enormous. We haven't seen anything like it." The trio agreed. They needed to investigate. However, there was a problem. The universe in question was farther than any they had translocated to before. Their current device was not designed for such long-range jumps. They would have to take Mila's upgrades into overdrive. So, the lab was thrown into a flurry of activity. The air was thick with a nervous yet determined energy. Marcus, Ava, and Mila huddled over the quantum translocator, making necessary adjustments and calculations for their longest jump yet. There was no room for error, and the intensity of their task was palpable. Through this challenging time, Mila's expertise came to the fore. She guided them through a series of tech upgrades, enhancing the device's range and stability. Even in the high-pressure situation, her sarcastic wit stayed intact. often bringing much-needed levity. "We're not just making history, are we? We're punching it in the face," she quipped, soldering a new component into the device. After many hours of relentless work, they finally had a modified quantum translocator, capable of reaching the distant universe. It was a triumph of their collective intellect, and yet, they could hardly afford a moment of celebration. Marcus looked at Ava and Mila. They were ready, he knew, but the fear of the unknown, of what Quill might have planned, still gnawed at him. He offered them a tight smile. "We've prepared the best we can. It's time to jump." As they prepared to translocate, Marcus felt an unusual knot in his stomach. This was not just another adventure into the multiverse. It was a confrontation, a response to a provocation that threatened their mission, their realities, and their very existence. He gripped the quantum translocator, his resolve hardening. Little did they know that what they were about to witness would change their understanding of the multiverse and their place within it forever. Into the maelstrom. Their universe wavered before their eyes as they activated the quantum translocator. A sensation of stretching, distorting, and then snapping back greeted them. Their arrival into the new universe was accompanied by an odd feeling of displacement and disorientation that they had now come to associate with translocation. As their vision cleared, they found themselves in a reality strikingly different from their own. This universe was chaotic, distorted by some massive quantum intervention. The architecture of the cities was unrecognizable, the sky was tinged with an eerie shade of green, and the laws of physics seemed to be in a constant state of flux. To their disbelief, the energy spike wasn't a signal, it was a shockwave of a colossal quantum experiment gone awry. "By Einstein's ghost," Ava muttered, staring at the world around them in disbelief. "This is catastrophic." Mila, who was kneeling down, scooped up a handful of dirt, her eyes narrowing at the shimmering particles. "This is not just a disaster, it's a quantum meltdown." Marcus couldn't help but agree. He felt a chill run down his spine as he realized the implications. Quill hadn't just experimented with translocation, he had tried to control this universe's quantum fabric. His eyes found Ava and Mila, his voice shaky. "He's tearing the universe apart. We have to stop him." Navigating this broken universe was a challenge. The terrain was volatile, with random gravity pockets and fluctuating physical constants. Despite the numerous challenges, they pressed on, guided by the quantum translocator towards the source of the quantum disruption. The closer they got, the worse the devastation. Buildings folded into themselves, people trapped in time loops, a world in unimaginable chaos. Their hearts clenched at the sight of innocent lives caught in Quill's ruthless ambition. They had to stop him. The source of the disruption was a towering structure, ominously similar to Quill's headquarters in their own universe. Marcus gritted his teeth, his fingers tightening around the quantum translocator. They had found their target. As they ventured inside, they could feel the raw power coursing through the structure. Every atom in the vicinity was throbbing in an unstable quantum state. They found their way to the control room, where they were met with an eerily familiar sight, a quantum control panel, far more advanced and clearly more dangerous than what they'd seen before. "Quill," Marcus muttered under his breath, a surge of anger washing over him. He wasn't here, but his destructive intent was very much present. Ava placed a comforting hand on his shoulder, her face determined. "We've stopped him once, Marcus. We can do it again." With newfound resolve, they set to work, determined to stabilize the quantum disturbance. With Ava's physics expertise, Marcus's knowledge of quantum computation, and Mila's hacking skills, they had a fighting chance. "We have to realign the quantum matrix," Marcus instructed, typing feverishly on the panel. "Mila, can you bypass the system's firewall?" Mila nodded, her fingers dancing over the keyboard, already on it. As they worked, the room vibrated with tension. The entire universe was on the brink of collapse, and they were racing against time. Could they fix this disaster before the damage was irreversible? One thing was certain, they had to try. For this universe, and for all universes threatened by Quill's power-hungry obsession,